Howdy folks, how's it going? Welcome back to Black Swan Productions and Happy New Year! Are you excited for 2019? I am. I bet it's going to be an awesome year. So, to kick off this year, I've decided to name my top 3 favorite movies from 2018. So, without further ado, let's get started with that. Alright guys, so starting with number 3, we have Avengers: Infinity War. Now this is the most epic movie in the whole MCU. It teams up the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Masters of the Mystic Arts, and the Nation of Wakanda. Their goal? To stop Thanos, who is the most powerful villain in the entire MCU. And his goal is to obtain all 6 Infinity Stones so that he can wipe out half of all life in the universe just by snapping his fingers. Now, what I like about this movie is that it has a lot of action. This is one of the most action-packed movies in the MCU. It was directed by the Russo brothers, who also did my other 2 favorite movies of the MCU, Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Captain America: Civil War. And they definitely did a good job with this one. I also really like the cast. The casting was really well done. I especially like Josh Brolin as Thanos. He did a really good job and definitely brought the character of Thanos to life. And I also really liked the emotional weight of this movie. This movie had a big emotional weight. It had high stakes, and there was a lot of emotional bits in the movie that I liked. It helped me really kind of get into the movie. What I did not like is the fact that this movie is not quite as good as a standalone movie. This movie is definitely part of a series. You can't just watch this movie and get into it. You have to watch all the previous movies in order for everything to make sense. So I didn't really care for that. That is kind of the main reason why this one is kind of further down as number 3 as opposed to number 2 or number 1. And I felt that certain things weren't quite as creative. I mean, it just was another entry into the MCU. It's definitely one of the best, but it still is relying on established Avengers formula. And I felt that as a movie, it wasn't quite as good as the other 2. It's great as an Avengers movie, and I really liked it, but it's not quite as good as just an individual standalone movie, and that's why I didn't care for it as much. But overall, I still really enjoy it, and I still give it a very solid 8 out of 10. Alright guys, so my number 2 favorite movie of 2018 is A Quiet Place. Now, this is a horror/suspense movie that stars John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. And the basic plot of this movie is that Earth has been taken over by these weird aliens. But what makes these aliens unique is they can't see. They're blind. But they have very, very sensitive hearing. And so the key to surviving is that you have to be totally silent. You cannot talk, you cannot make any sort of sound whatsoever, or these alien monsters will come and kill you. So that was, I thought, a very original, creative idea to use for a movie, and I really like that. And I also really enjoy the tension of this movie, because every time there's a noise, a monster shows up. And so they have to try to get away from it without making any noise to alert it. So that was, I really enjoyed the tension of this movie. And like Infinity War, I really appreciated the emotional feel of this movie. It being a family, the parents are very keen on protecting their kids, and in the end, there's a very emotional bit between the father and the children that really kind of tugged on my heartstrings, and I really enjoyed that part of the movie. So overall, this one also gets an 8 out of 10 for me, but I still liked it better than Infinity War, mainly because it does better as a standalone movie. So overall, 8 out of 10, I highly recommend this movie. Alright guys, the big moment has finally come. Let's get a drum roll! My number 1 favorite movie from 2018 is Mission Impossible Fallout! Now, This is an excellent movie, and I give it a 9 out of 10, which is incredibly high for me. So here's the plot. Ethan Hunt and his IMF team are after 3 stolen plutonium cores. However, just as Ethan is about to get to the cores, a mysterious organization known as the Apostles shows up and kidnaps his friend Luther. And while Ethan is busy saving Luther, the Apostles get the plutonium. So, now Ethan is tasked with taking down the mysterious leader of the Apostles, John Lark. He is aided along the way by CIA agent August Walker, and he runs into an old friend, MI6 agent Elsa Faust. He later on discovers that the Apostles are also being led by his old enemy, the anarchist Solomon Lane. So, Ethan now realizes that he's got to use all that he's got to defeat Lark, Lane, and the Apostles before it's too late. The best thing about this movie by far is the action. This has more action in it than any movie I think I have ever seen in my life. But all the stunts, pretty much all the stunts are real. And that's another thing that's really cool. Most of these action movies have a lot of CGI in their stunts, but all the stunts in this movie are real. And that is really cool for me. And if you didn't know, Tom Cruise does his own stunts. So he doesn't have a stunt guy, which makes it even cooler. But one problem I can have with action movies is that if the plot isn't really as good, I don't really get into the movie. A perfect case in point is Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. There was a lot of action, but the plot wasn't that good, so I didn't really get into the movie. That is not the case with Mission Impossible. This movie has a great plot, and it really helps to balance out the action, so you're never bored when you're watching this movie. I really enjoyed the casting. Of course, you have Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, the original guys from the IMF. But the newest addition is Henry Cavill as Agent Walker, and he was a perfect addition for that character, and he definitely helped make this movie really good. So, overall, with the perfect combination of acting, good plot, and action, this is a highly recommended movie, and if you have not seen it, I highly recommend that you see it as soon as possible. Alright guys, so what did you think of my top 3 picks for best movies of 2018? Did I leave out one of your favorites? If I did, do not hesitate to drop a comment below. Tell me your favorites. I would love to hear everybody's opinions. Also, leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and I will see you all on the flip side.